Hello, my name's Dylan Berger, and this is my compadre, Jacob Shimpa, and this is the Chosen Brothers podcast. So, this is just something that we've been wanting to do for a long time, and enjoy us on our journey. Since this is the first episode, we're just trying things out, seeing where it goes. So, all right.
It'll be a good journey. So let's see what happens.
Okay, so how we kind of started this out is we just wanted to ask ourselves a few questions and we jotted down notes. So sorry if this seems a little scripted. We're going to work on getting better at this as we progress with this. But the first question that we kind of wrote down was, why did you want to start a podcast? And Jacob, I'm going to let you lead off with
I
that.
want to start a podcast. I've been really reflecting on this over the last couple months since we first started talking about this. Originally, I was thinking, well, it's because I want to step out of my comfort zone. I've really been into, the Yes Theory podcast and the Yes Theory YouTube channel. Everything they're about. Dylan's wearing one of their shirts right now, Seek Discomfort. So that's where my mind originally went with this answer. I just wanted to do something that I'm not comfortable with. I'm not comfortable with being the center of attention. I am sort of an extrovert. I like being around people, but at the same time, I also don't want to be what everybody's paying attention to. And in a podcast, you're the person or the couple people that everybody's listening to and critiquing and watching. But the more I thought about it, I wanted to kind of expand on that answer. And I started thinking about wanting to grow as a human, as a person, as a brother, a friend, a husband. And I think listening to yourself and thinking about these hard to answer questions, you're going to continue to learn and grow and become a better person. And I also wanted to just learn more about my friends, the world around me. I'm hoping we can adapt this show into something where we're bringing people on and learning about them, learning
Yeah.
about travels and health and wellness and the things that are really important to us. We've
Mhm.
both grown a lot over the last decade. Over a decade, we've been best
Yeah.
friends,
Uh-huh. Yep.
and we have a lot of very similar interests. We like working
Mhm.
out and traveling and food, and so I
Yep.
through that and through guests and talking, I think we'll be able
Mhm.
to really continue to grow as humans and hopefully
Yep.
better society.
Mhm. Yeah, that's an amazing answer, and I think that's something that like originally I didn't think about, but it is part of the process is you're going through this, you're being vulnerable not only with yourself, with your friends, with a whole ton of people that you don't even get to see. And so we're going to grow as people regardless, and I'm very excited to grow and to learn and to just expand our horizons on everything. Uh, so yeah, when it comes to my answer, I'm gonna be a little scripted here off the start, and then I'm just gonna kind of ad lib it at the end. I feel like I've lived a lot of lives at this point, and I'm only 29 years old. I've endured a lot of suffering throughout my young life, and I wanted to show other people, men especially, that it is okay to talk about hard things and challenging things, that it is okay to fail and keep going forward, that it is okay to be vulnerable, especially when around your friends. And it's okay to not know where you're going in life. When you hit rock bottom, you can get out. I just wanted to talk about my growth and my journey on it. And every day, this is a journey. So you guys get to come along as part of my journey. And I just want to showcase the friendships I've made along the way because truly they're the reason I'm still standing. And having deep and authentic connections is honestly a superpower. Shippa has been a huge part of that journey, and I would truly not be the same position I am without him by my side. I lost my own brother, and I spent years of my life stumbling around trying to figure out who I was and what I stood for. I met this man by happenstance, and he's made a profound impact on my life since then. We've pushed each other to be better people, to achieve higher, and we stumbled through life with our friendship always holding tight. We gave each other an outlet when needed, and for that I will forever be grateful, and that is why he is my chosen brother. So, yeah, that is the scripted part, and I felt I wrote that very beautifully, and I just wanted to talk through that. And but other than that, like to touch base on what you were going with too, it's about learning. Like that's pretty much what it is. I think for me, it's about vulnerability and just being more comfortable being vulnerable and being more of my authentic self. And I think we're both gonna figure that out on the journey too. So
Hmm.
yeah, cheers, brother.
Cheers. Yeah, learning and growing with everything, and being both doctors, we kind of have a thirst for
Yep.
knowledge and
Mm-hmm. Yep.
continuing to grow. So I think it'll
Mm-hmm.
be a
Yeah.
great journey.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. This kind of leads into our second question. So our second question is, what is your biggest insecurity? Do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
Um, I can go first again. That's fine. I
Okay.
I
Okay.
think I sort of remember what I went with. So when you first asked me this question, I was trying to come up with something unique, and it ended up becoming something that I think a lot of people, it's their insecurity, and mine is like my fitness level, and I
Mhm.
mean maybe not weight necessarily, but more just like fitness in general. I've always kind of struggled with that. I've been like an average athlete. I've been not overweight, but not ripped or shredded, like some people are.
Mhm. Yeah.
And some people might think this is like ridiculous of me saying doing the 5K a day last year and all the marathons and triathlons I've been doing. But it really is something that I've had an insecurity with my whole life. I've always wanted to be better, and
Mhm.
I've never felt like I was good enough athletically. And I think a good example of that and why I need to continue to grow in this aspect and hopefully get rid of the insecurity is
Mhm.
when I finished my first Olympic distance triathlon in August. It was a good race. I kind of got off course on the swim a little bit, but I corrected myself, had a pretty good bike, had a really fast run. I think my 5K time was average each lap was like 25 minutes, so my 10K was just over 50 minutes. I missed my
Mhm.
goal time by less than a minute, and Gabby comes running over. I was so happy that I finished and excited for me, and
Mhm.
the only thing that I could think of was how did I not cut off 45 more seconds? Like, I was
Yeah.
disappointed in
Yeah.
myself. I
Mhm.
wasn't like depressed. I was still happy I finished, but that should have been the last thing I was thinking of. 45 seconds?
Yeah.
What's 45 seconds? Like,
Yeah.
I pretty much hit my
Uh-huh.
goal, but
Yeah.
I think that just shows that it's one of those insecurities in my life that if
Mhm.
it wasn't, I wouldn't have been so hypercritical in that moment.
Yeah.
And so I just always need to continue to think about it when I'm racing and
Yeah.
training.
It's so hard to like not be hypercritical on yourself. Like we are our biggest critic. Like and
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what anybody else says does whatever because you're with yourself 100% of the time. And if you're not kind to yourself in all aspects of life, you're going to have some problems. And so it's something that I mean, I'm working on getting better at too. It's a difficult time. It is so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but yeah, that is I think I can't wait to watch you grow in that process.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see who you're going to be when you can celebrate those little wins.
6 months out till the first half Ironman. So I
Exactly.
told I told myself no matter what at the end of that, I'm gonna be happy for myself. My goal time
Hmm.
I think I've come up with is like 6 hours or something like that based off what I think I
Hmm.
can run, but I always have to have a goal, otherwise I'm not gonna
Yeah.
push
Yeah.
myself. But
Understandable.
I
Yeah.
gotta
Just
I
just be happy that you
yeah,
finished it. You know,
yeah.
that's all you can be. Like when we ran our marathon together, like I was almost an hour off my goal time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I was hurt in a lot of pain, but it was also like I am just happy I finished.
Yeah. I was
Hmm.
40 minutes off, but I had no idea
Yeah,
what to expect.
exactly.
I
Yeah, yeah.
and it was grandma's, which was so It's a hard
It was
course.
it was a hard, yeah, especially like that hill right at the end killed me. It's not even that big of a hill, but it killed me.
It looks like a big hill on mile 22 when it's
Yeah.
45 degrees out and the wind's coming off the
Yeah.
lake. So
Yeah. It was a beautiful day though.
it
It
was
was
beautiful.
beautiful.
Yes.
I wish I didn't have to carry that fucking backpack like
Would have made it a little better.
uh a little bit better, yeah. Um okay, my biggest insecurity is I feel somewhat similar to yours. Yours is more based on your athletic nature and mine is just the fear of not being enough in general, whether that be athletically or just in any endeavor, not being a good enough friend, not being a good enough like romantic partner, not being like anything. And I just have kind of always felt that way. And then also like I've felt that way a lot in my life, just not even being able to live up to my own expectations of like feeling like I can do more or like being in a place where I'm happy, but also know that I can keep pushing the barrier. And I think that's like why personal growth is not only it's amazing, it's awesome, but it's also a trap because you see how much farther you can go, and it's almost an addicting spiral.
Mm-hmm.
But I think because of that, I have gone through periods in my life where I realize that I should be doing more, or I feel like I should be doing more, and I don't enjoy the moment as much. I don't
Mm-hmm.
enjoy the present, and yeah, it's led me along a lot of ways to do difficult things, and um, it also has helped pushed me to just go through different things and different trials in my life. Like for one, it led me to do 5K a day for the first time because I failed to run 100 miles in a month and I didn't feel good enough after that. So I had to prove to myself that I was good enough. So I made up this challenge of doing a 5K every day, and I did it for a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, we ended up doing this, but that was literally
Right.
to prove to myself that I was good enough.
Yeah.
And it was also like during that same time I had failed to get into PT school for the first time. So it was like, I will not fail again. I'm going to be intentional with myself. I'm going to have discipline. I'm going to have personal integrity and I'm going to get things done. It also like led me to go to grad school and I felt like I wasn't good enough to make that happen. I didn't feel like I was good enough to become a physical therapist. And that took me on that same year, that journey showed me that I am good enough. I am strong enough. I am like, I can fulfill myself, but I have to constantly challenge myself and push myself to be a little bit better every day. Because if I'm not, and if I stay stagnant, those same old insecurities keep creeping in and keep grabbing me and trying to pull me back down. But so yeah, I mean, it's been a consistent battle for myself over the last 4-ish years of realizing that I have that and realizing that that's going to be there and realizing that I just need to keep moving forward. And one thing that's really helped me with that is being just like honest and open with my friends of where I'm at and pushing myself forward. So yeah,
Yeah.
having goals to strive for is huge and sticking with those goals. Like
Mm-hmm.
personal integrity has been the biggest thing I've learned over those years and doing what I say because when I don't do what I say, I feel terrible and that same thought creeps back in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Insecurities are a good way to push you, or a good way to fall into, like a depression where you're not going to do
Hmm.
anything. But I think
Yeah.
both of us help. It helps us push ourselves to be better and strive to be
Hmm.
better. So,
But it also like helps that we have such a close relationship as well where we can talk about those insecurities with each other like
mm-hmm.
and it's going to be hard because we're going to have to talk about them in front of a camera now instead of just off camera all the time
It'll be
and it's going to
weird.
be a little uncomfortable. It's going to be very weird. But I think it'll be a good journey to go through together. So,
Yes.
yeah. Uh to end our episodes, we wanted to do something. Yes Theory has these cards that they made. They're called Spark cards. and there's different sets, everything like that, but essentially they all have a question on them. So we thought it would be a fun thing to do where we each have a spark card that we answer, and then if we have a guest, we have them answer one, and then we all answer one together, something we're just going to try. So, Shimpa, you're going to go first, and who
All
is the
right.
first person you call after something great happens in your life?
Well, that's an easy one for me. It's Gabby. First off, I remember the first like big news I feel like I needed to do that with was when I got into pharmacy school. When I
Hmm.
got that letter, I remember actually, I don't even think I called her. She was living in the sorority down the street, so I texted her and asked her if she was home. And I went over there and showed her the letter that I got into pharmacy school.
Hmm. Yeah.
Other than her, honestly, probably you would be next, but
Hmm.
it's a yeah,
That's a pretty
yeah,
easy one.
not
Yeah,
a
for
not a
real.
hard thinking one
Yeah.
for me.
Hmm. Okay, this is mine. So, name a habit that helps you stay inspired. Is there another habit that you think could help inspire you farther? Oh man. Uh, I would say my biggest one is just working out and just going to the gym. It every time I'm there, it makes me feel humbled on how much I still need to work and grow. But with my given profession, it's also a really creative place for me. And it makes me realize like how much I can learn, and it's just a playground almost for me at this point, and it's just like fun to play. I think another habit that could help inspire me farther is like I mean, I write goals down and stuff like that, and I just think I need to do a better job of staying consistently checking up with those goals and seeing if I'm making progress with those goals and continue to realign my life so I can accomplish those and cross them off the checklist. Like that's something I really like haven't made is a checklist of goals I can actually like cross off, and I feel like that would be a really good and inspiring thing, and it's something I just haven't done, but I want to, so maybe I just need to do that.
Future podcast episode.
Next time
Yeah.
there's just gonna be a checklist of goals back there.
we'll have we'll have an episode about our 30s and maybe what we want to do in
Hmm.
the next
Yeah.
couple years. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. All right. This one we're answering together. Okay.
Okay.
You can start and then I'll go.
Okay.
Name three people that believe in your dreams or goals the most.
Well, first two out of the top of my head are Gabby and you.
Hmm. Yeah.
You both have been pretty much right by my side through
Hmm.
everything. I remember you were the first person I really started studying with to get on track for the first time in college so I could get into pharmacy school. And then Gabby was there too. And then through pharmacy school, becoming a doctor. And then through my careers now and
Hmm.
all my athletic endeavors that I'm trying to accomplish.
Hmm.
Oh, a third person. I mean, my parents, obviously. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of a
Hmm.
different one that's not so obvious, but I think those are the first three slash four people that come to my mind.
Hmm. Awesome. Definitely you're one of them for me. Jerome is also one of those for me. I mean, I live with the guy, so I would hope so.
Yeah.
Uh, and then I think a couple people came in mind like right away for that third person, and then so one of them is my buddy Braden. We just had a really long conversation. We did a FaceTime call yesterday and just talked through a lot of things. Had a really great conversation about just being vulnerable and being open and honest with ourselves, our struggles, everything. It was a great time, and he just made me like remember how important it is to have great friends that believe in you. And so I think he's just right on my mind right now because I talked to him just yesterday.
Right.
And then I would say Greg would be
Mm-hmm.
my Greg is also the one like they popped in like boom, like
Yeah.
very sequentially. And so yeah, I think those are the two biggest ones for me. So hmm
All right. Well,
all
thanks
right.
everybody for
Well,
tuning in to the first episode of the Chosen Brothers podcast. Hope we didn't stumble over our words too much.
yeah, this is a learning and growing point for us too. So if you guys have any recommendations, feel free to let us know because we will greatly appreciate them.
And if there's anything you want us to talk about or bring up in any episodes, let us know and we will try to incorporate those.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for listening to this first episode. We appreciate all of you.
Peace out.
Peace.